today with Laura Gallup. She is the marketing and events coordinator for the Ithaca Farmers Market. So Laura, would you mind just starting telling me how COVID-19 has impacted the farmers market and how things have been running since basically everything shut down?
Yeah, thanks for having me. COVID-19 started to shut things down while we were still doing our winter market. We run our winter market until the end of March, indoors up at Trip Hammer Marketplace. So when it happened in the middle of March, we ended up leaving Trip Hammer Marketplace and moving to our outdoor steamboat landing at the pavilion 2 weeks early. And those markets ran well. We stuck with our regular winter vendors. I think it was only like 15 people. And then the first weekend of April is our usual grand opening. And some, if the weather's nice, we can have 88 vendors outside. But we made a plan to make the market a little bit smaller and safer. And we've figured out 40 vendors that would be allowed to come to the outdoor markets. So that's what we're working with right now.
Yeah, so how did these plans come about? How many people did you have on your team, and how difficult was it to completely derail everything you had known about the farmers market?
Yeah, it was definitely a hard task. There's me and myself and my supervisor, Becca, and then there's a board of directors. So that was the team that was kind of working on the new plan. The board of directors and Becca had to come up with safety and health regulations, and then they also had to figure out, are we going to open at all? Are we going to have different hours? How many vendors are we going to have? Which vendors are we going to have? Because usually our system is run by seniority. So if you've been there the longest and you have a reserve booth, you're allowed to come in April. But we definitely had to change that up to make it so that we could space vendors out. So right now we have at least one booth in between every single vendor.
Yeah, absolutely. And what other safety and health regulations are you doing, not just for the vendors, but for people who are coming to the farmers market?
Yeah. So since New York State deems farmers markets essential, we are allowed to stay open, and we've worked with the Tompkins County Health Department. They've given us guidelines and we've come up with our own. We do have bathrooms for hand washing with soap. We put in touchless paper towel dispensers so that you can grab the handle without, infecting yourself again. We have the spacing for the vendors. We have signs up for customers, encouraging people to do the 6-foot rule. If lines do form at booths, we expect people to space themselves out 6 feet, and we're mandating that. Vendors wear masks and gloves. And then we had vendors change their displays so that no open product could be on their tables that people could touch. Everything is pulled back or it's pre-packaged. And we're also encouraging pre-orders so that you pay for everything online. It's ready for you when you get there, you pick it up and you go, because usually we're definitely a social gathering spot, but right now we're just a grocery shopping spot.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you guys look forward to the future, when hopefully all of this goes away hopefully by the summer and you guys can fully open, what are the plans to start slowly scaling back the health and safety regulations?
Yeah, so the first week of May is supposed to be when we open our Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday markets. And the board has just decided that we won't be doing that in the beginning of May. It looks like we're going to wait until at least the New York on pause is over to reassess the situation. But yeah, when the state starts opening up, I think we will slowly open up as well, keeping in mind health and safety. But I think it's been a good lesson in how to adapt quickly, and that it proved to us that we're still important to the community. We're a food access point, and I'm glad we've been able to stay open during this.
Yeah, and have you noticed a big drop in business between like what you would normally do this time of year and with everything, or are you still seeing a good influx of people to the farmers market?
It's kind of different across the boards. Right now at the market, we don't have any artisan vendors because they're not deemed essential. We just have food and farm vendors. So I think some people are seeing a spike in business because of people stocking up or people being a little bit nervous about going into grocery stores. So I think there's definitely some people who are doing well because of that. I also think some people just aren't coming out to the market because they think it's a social gathering spot and they're nervous about that. So it's definitely not as busy as it normally would be in April. But when the weather gets warmer, who knows what will happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned obviously farmers markets are an essential business, but how essential is the Ithaca Farmers Market to the Tompkins County community?
Yeah, since we are just food and farm right now, I think we're very essential for a food access point. Um, food supply chains could break down at any moment. We're all hearing rumors about beef shortages or, grocery stores not being able to get certain things. And when groceries come from other countries, none of us know 100% what happens to them, how many people touch them. But when you buy stuff from a local farmer, you do know, one or two people touched it and they can tell you exactly where it was and what happened to it. So I think it is essential to be here, and especially when grocery stores run low on things, we're another great option.
Absolutely. And what is your hope for the future going forward? You mentioned this was a great learning opportunity for everyone at the planning board on the farmers market. So what are your hopes for moving forward into the future?
Yeah, it's been great to see people have to adapt. I think at the market, we've been in Ithaca since 1973, and sometimes you do things how you always do them. But I think it's been fun to watch vendors make websites, make social media accounts, get the word out about their product, make pre-order systems, think about how they can get their product to our community in different ways. So I think just watching the brainstorming happen and the collaboration between vendors, I think will help us going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems to be a great community effort to really get everyone out there and still be able to sell and buy locally, which is incredible for the Ithaca community.
Yeah, I think we want to still be around when this is all over, and we want our vendors to still be around. So shopping local is definitely important.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to add?
I think that's it. Just that we're open at Steamboat Landing at the Outdoor Pavilion every Saturday, 9 to 1. And we are encouraging only one member per household to come, just to keep the crowds down. But we're still here.